Alright, show's on.
Alright. So who here knows what they want to do in 5 years? Who here knows what they want to do in 10 years?
Who?
Does anybody know what they want to do after high school? Yeah? Whitney, what do you want to do?
I want to be a tattoo artist.
A tattoo artist? Awesome. So you really like to do drawings and pretty creative?
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Anybody else know what they want to do? No? Yeah, Taylor?
Maybe go to college.
Maybe go to college? Okay, so still something you're kind of considering? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, what we're going to talk about today is just that, what we're going to do after high school, after we graduate, because that's a choice that's coming up pretty soon, right? Some of us are juniors in here, some of us are seniors. Do we have any sophomores in here? Just a couple? Okay, 3. Okay, so what I want you to do, I've given you a worksheet, and what I want you to do, we're going to go through it together. And the first question just asks, what do you want to do as your career right now? If you had to choose something right now, what would you choose? And that can be based on what kind of lifestyle you want to have. It could be based on what you really enjoy to do, how much money you want to make. There's a lot of things that play into what you want to do. Does everybody have something written down?
What's lifestyle?
Lifestyle, it means how you're going to live in the future. So it could be what kind of house you want to live in, if you want to have cable and internet, that kind of stuff. So just how you envision what your life looks like. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so what I want you to do next is write down why you chose this. Is it because you want to make a lot of money? Is it because you just really enjoy drawing and you really want to be a tattoo artist because you like to draw and color?
I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm probably going to be like Kat Von D.
Like have your own TV show and stuff? Yeah.
I really want to be Detective Brass on Lower SVU, so would that be a police officer or would that be like something different? Because he doesn't do like regular police stuff.
So we can talk more about this, but to get to a detective level, you have to start out as a police officer and work up with experience and education. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, since we all have our computers in front of us, is we're going to log on to this Focus Career 2 website. And we're just going to assume that everybody has an account. I don't, do you have an account?
I do.
Okay.
Just type in that link, it's kind of long, but it takes you there.
Are you guys gonna talk about the fact that each student has to create an account and stuff?
Yeah, well, we can.
Okay.
Do we need to? I mean, it's just like registering for an account. You just have to have
Okay.
it.
It's just
Well,
kind of
never
a worksheet.
Yeah.
So in order to use Focus 2, I mean, each student will need to create an account.
Yeah.
Right.
So you
There you
get-
go.
So you get, when you put that link in, you get to this website, and y'all will be, if you don't already have an account, you'll be a new user. And the access code is Razorback, just all lowercase Razorback, and then just enter in all the information, and once you do that,
You have to create a username and password, so make sure you
Yeah.
write it down.
so write down your username and password to remember.
Should coaches keep that information as well, like keep a list for all their students, you think?
So many of them. Probably not a terrible idea.
And you could suggest their password being their like lunch code or ID
Yeah, lunch.
number or something so that it'll.
And another thing important too is to make sure to emphasize that they pick an email, put an email down that they actually check. That way if they do lose their password in the future, they can have it sent to their email. A lunch code?
Like,
Yeah,
yes,
what
that's
is
what
it?
they have.
It's their student ID number. The lunch code
Yeah.
and student ID for them is the same thing.
I'm just
in general.
kidding.
That's how they get their lunch.
Oh, I never.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. My school's really small.
Charges to their account because they can't just.
I actually didn't do by name. So.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi,
so,
Kylie.
alright, so
Hey,
is everybody on the
They still
website yet?
Wanna get to go
Is
off
everybody,
camera?
well, you gotta break it down.
Let's do that.
A couple of school people out there.
No, we don't have
Okay, alright guys, so once you create your account, you will come to this page right here, and we're gonna complete the work interest assessment. And it has like, anyway, it has like 6 pages of questions. It took me less than 10 minutes to complete it. You just go through here, it says like, what degree would you enjoy designing graphic art images? It has not at all the way up to a very high degree. So you go through here and complete all 6 pages. And when you finish, it'll a, just a list of like, top, they'll have a list of your top jobs or like the 3 work interest areas that they think would best fit you out of the questions that you answered. So if you're doing this as a group, they would complete the assessment obviously, and then list the top 3. And so then you can discuss that, like, what came up on yours. Looking through your occupation options, list the ones that interest you. So like, there's interest areas and then there's the specific jobs that are under those.
Right, so there's interest areas, but if you scroll more toward the bottom of the results page, there are actually careers listed down at the bottom.
This sounds like Whitney just did.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Do y'all do this all, did you do this with all your students? You
I
did?
did.
Not last year, I think a handful of people did.
Yeah, I didn't use it last year. Anyway, so after that, have them take like the careers, the ones that were suggested and the ones they chose, have them go to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, it's at that link right there, and have them kind of, have them research the careers. There's a really easy way to look up the careers, and it gives them like, everything they need to know, like the median salary of it, what education they need,
Job description, the growth rate, how much they anticipate that occupation to increase.
yeah, so have them just, there's a list for 5 of them here, like the name of the career, just have them kind of, get an idea of what education's required, what's needed for it, sorry, I'm trying to show you what it looks like.
And so having this chart will then be a good way for you guys to go through and look and see and compare those different careers and those different salaries and see which one fits your lifestyle, which doesn't. And we have an activity that we're gonna do in our next meeting to where you can actually get on and look at what the salary would be here in Northwest Arkansas, and you get to choose the city that you're gonna live in. So we're gonna do that next time we meet. But this is a good way for you to look at it now and kind of compare, okay, well, what does this job do? What does this job do? And how much is the salary this one compared to this one? And what, do I need to go to college for this one and not for this one? That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, so see, this is what'll come up after you complete the work interest profile. It has the work interest here, like social, artistic, conventional, and it gives a description of those. And then it has jobs that would kind of best fit, the type of career interest you have. And then you can have them, that website.
And on the list of occupations, they have like the sun that will pop up on the Bright Outlook jobs.
Yeah.
So that's kinda cool, so they
And
know.
a leaf on like green jobs.
Right.
And it shows what majors at the U of A correlate to those jobs, what you can major if you wanna do that, and like salary too.
So it'd really be good to do like what Whitney did first, and as the icebreaker to get them like to know what this whole RIASEC thing is, and then get them to actually do this like at a later date, so they're already familiar with it.
And then you can do a comparison between
Yeah,
what
what
you
you've
thought
got
and
Yeah,
what
and what you
actually
actually
is.
also.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so here is the Occupational Outlook Handbook, and like they could choose like, let's choose like art teacher, and they could look it up. I just always search it in there. Say high school teacher, I'm gonna teach. High school teachers in 2010 median pay was national. I think that's national, right? Yes, it is.
Sorry, I'm backtracking because it took me a while to find the new user thing. What was the test that we,
The
Did-
work interest.
the work interest?
Yeah,
Work interest.
work interest assessment. Yeah. So you see right here it has, like median pay, entry level education, bachelor's degree, what they do, what the work environment's like, the job outlook for it, everything right there. So then after they research it, take some time to research it, then you talk about, are there any career matches that surprised you? After looking at these, compared to the first career you listed, like which one interested you the most? So yeah. And why do you think these would be a good fit for you and why not, ones that showed up?
And I encourage you guys, if you've not gone on the Occupation Outlook Handbook and played around with it, do so in some of your extra time, just so that when you do go in there with a student, you're not still trying to learn it and getting fumbled up, because even though I mean, it can look pretty simple, but just go in and be familiar with it, what's there, so that you can navigate it more quickly, because that can take a while. If you're trying to figure out what it's doing, and then that can kind of lose your student if you're not.
And something to keep in mind too, something I ran into a lot with OH last year was, my student would search something that we thought it was called, like, I can't think of what the example was, but we thought it was called one thing, and we pulled it up, and nothing showed up that was even like kind of what we were thinking. So then we had to like go and try to figure out what the actual name of the career that they wanted to do was,
It's
so.
funny, I wonder what it was.
I can't remember, I have it written down in one of my binders, but, yeah. So does that make sense? So those last questions are just reflection questions, so you might even address it like, okay, now I really want you to think back about what you just did, and think about all the results that you got. Do you think this is a good fit for you? are you totally disgusted by it? Just put it in those words that they understand. Don't read it off the sheet, because they can read.
True. And I think this could be good on a group or an individual intervention,
Yeah.
a group or individual. Maybe if you do it as a group, like discuss the reflection questions more, like individually. Because I might not discuss it in group, because I know I would.
If you go back to focus 2 tab, there's, and go to your return main menu. One other thing you can do is that red, narrow and refine your results. You have to take at least 3 assessments, but once you've taken between 3 and 5 assessments, you can do that and it'll combine your assessments and give you an idea based on, work interests, personality, skills, values, and leisure, what, like just
I think,
specific
I think the skills assessment could
Yeah.
be really good to.
Yeah, there are a lot of other really great tests on here, and I encourage you to look through them, because there's some stuff that I was like, oh, that's cool, I found out about myself. Oh my goodness, so, and it builds you a portfolio
Yeah,
too.
you can
Yeah,
save
you
So-
can say their
They can save their matches on here, which is neat. Yeah.
And you can, because they have their own account and this is on the internet, they can go in and log in and do it as like a homework assignment to do another assessment, so you don't have to spend all of your meeting times just doing the assessments, but you can have them come back with the results to process it with them.
Absolutely. And there is some funky wording on some of those questions that your high schoolers might not understand, so just be aware that you might wanna be around so that they can ask you what those questions mean. Any other questions?
Like those.
Yeah, you were like, slow clap.
I said, and not another teen movie.